Columbia University reached a landmark deal with the Trump administration to restore federal funding for research, easing a crisis that has rattled the school's finances and also upended its leadership. For more on this developing story, let's go now to Bloomberg News reporter Liam Knox, who's been covering this. And Liam, the headline numbers here, initially it was $200 million. That was a penalty. Then the next update had $221 million because there was a separate payment as well. Walk us through what this $221 million entails, who's paying it, and who gets it?
Well, Columbia University is paying all $221 million. They'll be paying it in installments over the course of 3 years. The first installment is actually due just next week. But the recipients will be a mix of the $200 million of that money goes right to the federal government to pay off kind of fines, and another $21 million goes to pay settlements in workplace discrimination agreements, basically. The money actually doesn't come with any admission of wrongdoing from Columbia University, but it does go to settle cases of discrimination and harassment against Jewish members of the university community.
Got it. Okay, so Jewish faculty as well as students who say they face discrimination. Columbia also agreed to years of oversight. Walk us through what that is expected to look like.
Sure. So they've appointed an independent federal monitor, Art Schwartz, who is will be overseeing compliance. There'll also be an administrator involved, yet to be named. But that monitor was agreed upon by both parties, both the university and the Trump administration. He'll be overseeing basically compliance with the terms of the settlement. So some of those terms, including commitment to transparency around data in admissions, a commitment to combating anti-Semitism on campus, things of that nature. So that's kind of a years-long oversight process for the university. It's not what the Trump administration had initially proposed, which was a consent decree, which would be a more dramatic thing. But it is a years-long, basically process of enforcement and compliance oversight that they've agreed to.
Okay, and again, in return, Columbia gets some of the federal funds that had been promised or that was already in the works. So, Liam,
right.
I guess the big question here is who else is the White House negotiating with? Do you anticipate that we might get a similar deal with Harvard University soon?
Sure. So they've been obviously in negotiations with Harvard University for months now. Harvard's case has some specifics, some particulars that make it difficult to translate all of the Columbia settlement as kind of a template for that agreement. I'm sure there's kind of a lot more moving parts there, a lot more on the table. Other universities that are up for similar agreements with the administration include Cornell and Brown, and this Columbia settlement is more likely to be a much more direct template for those agreements. Yep. Just this morning, Education Secretary Linda McMahon called it a roadmap and a template for those schools, and said that, and President Trump has said that he hopes to reach agreements with them very shortly.
All right, good stuff. Liam Knox joining us from Washington. Thank you so much.